We get a snippet of Come to Bed
Come to bed.
on, and today we got a special guest. I meant to ask you, bro, are you strictly from Los Angeles?
So I'm actually from Dalmar, Delaware, small town on the East Coast.
Okay, so you from the East Coast. You just on the West Coast right now.
Yep, yep. My name is Marques Hale, aka Marques R&B, and my whole vision is to create quality R&B music. I have a song dropping on Friday called "Come to Bed," and it's exactly that. Just showing to the youth that you can actually do something positive.
Into a couple questions and kind of pick your mind a little bit about your thought process when writing like songs and things like that. So you told me you put out 10 singles this year.
Yeah.
Are you ever running out of like ideas, or does just like the ideas keep flowing? Like, where do you get your inspiration from?
For me, it's just a matter of writing down whenever something pops up. It might be when I'm taking a nap. It might be just randomly chilling, playing basketball. So no, the ideas never stop. But the one thing I'm definitely learning is to like freeze that moment and write it down. Because if I don't, you'll forget it and you'll be like so mad. Like, why didn't I
Yeah,
write that down?
because it was like it could be like one of those absolute hits, and then you like, damn, I forgot to put it down, and it's.
Oh my goodness, we've all done it.
I've been there with a lot of times with like podcast episodes. So like I'll be at work and we'll be talking about a lot of different things, and I'll be like, damn, that'd be a good like podcast episode, and I'm like, I'm write it down, go to do something else, and I'm like, damn, what did I meant to gone, and it would have been like a banger or something like that, right?
A
Um,
banger.
yeah. So I found you on TikTok, just scrolling on my For You page, so you just popped up. And I'm glad I reached out to you because I listened. I went on your page. I'm one of those people. I will go on your page and just like check you out a little bit.
Hmm.
So your music definitely the one that's coming out Friday, Come to Bed. That's the one that popped up like for a little snippet.
Oh wow.
It sounded amazing. It's like more so my vibe. I do a lot of reaction videos on YouTube, so
Okay.
reacting to a lot of people like upcoming artists from like overseas and things like that. I'm just like so tuned into music. I like to like get into different things. So when I seen yours, and like I rarely get people popping up on my page like that. So I thought it was pretty cool. Um
Yeah.
so
Thank
I
you.
guess that would go from like, since you've been in LA, have you been influenced by some of the LA sound within your music?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've always been locked into mint conditions, the DJ Quicks, the just that vibe. Like right now, October London's going crazy.
Yeah.
You know, so this next single's gonna drop, and then we have a few more. But then after that, I'm definitely putting out a straight Cali album, literally.
Oh, yeah, I do like that. I am mint condition, love it. You have definitely like a 90s vibe, and that's more so my speed. If I ever want to go to like a lounge or something like that, which I rarely do, but like for my birthday, like I was saying, I kind of wanted to go to a lounge just to like vibe with some R&B music, because that's more so I like that style, like 90s R&B, early 2000s, and you definitely got that late 90s R&B style, and then to going into early 2000s R&B style. So that's why I really like fuck with your music a little bit. Like I did listen to last
Yeah,
night. Like I sent you the Closer. That one probably would have
yeah,
to be my top one. I'm ready to hear Come to Bed, but we
right,
don't we gonna
yeah.
get into that later in the episode. Maybe he might give us a snippet. We don't know yet. But so when you're writing, what's usually hit you first, like the lyric, the beat, or just like a random idea?
The first thing I got to give a shout out to my OG, Jay the writer. He's part of the Trailblazers, so he reached out to me about a year ago, and now we have such a process where normally we'll get the hook done. Um, Start with the beat. Shout out to Genius. He's part of the Trailblazers. They work with Jay-Z and a whole bunch of other names. But you know how the game goes.
Yeah,
After years go by, and you run across someone like myself, you want to work with someone that's still hungry.
yeah,
You know, so that's been our process at this point. Really, just going with the hook first, going with the beat vibe, and then we'll work on the verses from there.
I've never tried to write I'm lying. I tried to write songs like when I was like 12. Like I used to be so into music that I tried to like write music. I used to write books all the time and poems, and I thought I could turn that into a song. Like I tried to rap at one point. Like no one, no, this is all like first time people are finding out this. If you everybody watching my the podcast, so I tried to rap at some point. My brothers used to be in the room and we used to like have like a talent show. So I went in a closet, one of those closets that just like open up like that. Went in the closet and it was like, "You ready?" Yeah. So I'm walking out. There was like introducing. What's your stage name? I was like, I just say it when I come out. So there was like introducing. And I would burst through the closet and be like, "Lil L," because my first name starts with an L, and I'm like,
Mhm.
I
That's what's
can
up.
do shit over it. And I've never tried to actually do music. That's just not for me. But I commend everybody
Got you.
that tries it. But like I shoot music videos every once in a while for people, take
Okay.
pictures. So I that's like I said, I'm me and music are like sort of like best friends in a way. When I like to I'll shuffle my Apple Music and do it that way and find like new artists, like rappers, singers and things like that. So yeah, I really the writing the hook is like probably the smartest thing because once you got that, all the lyrics sort of flow together, right? How do you know when a song's completely done? Like in the moment you're like, all right, I think this is finished, or do you how many times do you go back to like tweak it a little bit?
You kind of know. Especially doing R&B music. There's so many like ad libs, and you get to a point where you just need to stick with what you got. Um, that I love that part of the process though, like the harmonies, the melodies, but you can get carried away. You
Yeah, yeah.
know, when to be done is it's tough, but you know when it's ready.
So did you always want to do R&B or have you dabbled in like say rapping or a lot of people try to dabble in different genres, but has R&B always been your thing?
A lot of family from New York,
Mhm.
so we were forced to freestyle rap. Like you had to. So it went from that to dancing. That was really the first thing I did, like dancing in talent shows, dancing to Usher, Caught Up. I remember that. Um, and then probably when I got to high school, um, I was forced by my friends, like, "Yo, we know you kind of like to sing. Like, you need to
Yeah.
sing." Like, and I sung a Miguel song for my friends, and ever since then, I just put it all together. Um, but it's always been there. I think the love for singing has always been there, but it really started with dancing and freestyle rapping.
Can you still dance? Because I'm
I'm
black,
okay.
no rhythm, no rhythm.
uh, and it's something that you have to practice. Like I literally have to practice now, so I'm okay.
Do you perform a lot, or like go on tours, anything like that?
I mean, I think next year will be the time for that. Really touring and shows. Right now, I'm just building my catalog,
Yeah.
practicing my craft, open mics, stuff like that.
Okay. All
You
right, not bad. Whenever you do go on a tour, if you ever want to come back to East Side, North Carolina, let me know. I definitely will come out.
know.
I'll try to learn
Definitely.
all the lyrics by then. Yeah, I got time. What keeps you going? Like, what's the bigger picture, the end goal with like making music?
Um, I think it's again just the youth, like giving them a blueprint. Like you don't have to be a knucklehead.
Yeah,
You can do what your passion is. I play basketball too a lot. I still play a lot, to be honest with you. And whatever your passion may be, it just so happens that music is something that I really, really stuck with. I still get really, really excited about it,
yeah,
and so that's really the goal, is to really create a blueprint for the next generation. Like, you don't have to be a knucklehead in this thing.
all right.
You can
Cause
take something from the ground and really blow up.
yeah, so cause a lot, a lot of black young men, especially out there, they get into like a lot of gang stuff, a lot of just like surrounded by the wrong crowd. So I think to have that role model to like kind of
Yeah,
push you not only like not to just do music because you do music, but like push you to do something better with your life, like keep
yeah,
focused and not do anything to like get you in trouble because that's what they really expect of a lot of like black people as a whole. Like we get in trouble. So like when we start putting something positive, a positive spin on a lot of things, they look at us like, oh, okay. So I do like that you want to be somewhat of a role model to kind of put that out there for the youth and things. Um, what's your favorite song out of everything you released?
mm. probably probably next to you.
I have
So
listened to that one. I listened to that one last night too. Actually, it's pretty good. I like
yeah,
it.
that joint is it's a nod to my basketball lifestyle, and it's just got all the elements, the early 2000s type
Yeah.
beat, and almost like me kind of rapping a little bit. Like it's got everything that is me, you know.
Yeah, so it's very versatile. Yeah, I can tell you are a very, versatile type person within the different like of your music that I listened to last night because I really wanted to like kind of pick it apart to kind of get like your style, right? And most of your music, you kind of explore like a lot of emotions, like love and things like that.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself naturally drawn to like the intimacy side of things, the vulnerability in your music?
To be honest, it comes from just that 90s, even earlier than that, the 80s, the 70s. Um, the stuff at the barbecue that we love listening to growing up. Like they were talking about that type of stuff. So whenever the beat comes on, it's just natural to go back to that place.
Do you have a dream collab? Like anybody that's alive, anybody that passed on, like who would you want to collab with or would have wanted to collab with?
Um, Definitely Usher,
I can
like
see that.
Faith Evans, um, Robin Thicke. You
You
know,
definitely got that type of the vibe Robin Thicke has. Um, I don't know if you got this a lot, but you like Paul George. You give me Paul George like the facial feature vibes. That
nah,
that's what I
that's a
got from
first,
you.
but I see it though. Yeah,
Yeah, like you definitely give like Paul George. And it's ironic because you say you play basketball, so that kind of like it made sense a little bit. But
fact.
I could see you collabing with Usher one day just because the way he started in the beginning, like his type of vibe. Like, yes, he does R&B, he does a little bit of pop in there and things like that. And you definitely kind of got that going. So I
Yeah,
could definitely see Usher being a dream collab. So, if this clip or something ever reach Usher, somebody tag him down below. Cause that'd be
yeah,
dope. And you come back to this and be like, yeah, Sean was like, she was right. Just saying. Let's talk about Come to Bed. What's the story
yes.
behind it, and what do you want people to like experience when they listen to it?
So it started with a conversation with her name is Celia, so she's part of the Trailblazer group, and we wanted to get a song together. We've been working in proximity to each other, just having the same OGs, and we just worked on it. We started with the hook, started with the melody, and it's really just a nod to when you're going through it with your significant other. Um, the best thing that you could hear is like, okay, we're over it. Like, just come to bed. You know.
Mhm.
So I definitely have a few experiences like that in my life that I could draw from. I'm single right now,
Okay,
but
that was gonna be a couple follow-up questions. That was gonna be next.
yeah, yeah, definitely, it's definitely a sensual, like real R&B type song for sure.
Okay, okay. I do. Everybody loves a little spiciness every once in a while. It might be the next hit playlist for somebody to be on, that type of playlist, that type of time. You never know. So you said you were single.
Real.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Are you Are you looking? What would be like your ideal, you know, girl?
Yeah, someone that's like God fearing. I just was thinking about that today, actually. Like, you know, as long as we can be on the same page about God and just humble, sweetheart, you know, like being a sweetheart doesn't mean you're a pushover. I need
Right.
someone that's like really, really sweet. Um,
Okay.
but
Just like
yeah,
sweet towards you, and like don't take no shit from nobody else.
you feel me?
Okay. Okay. So, are you say you're single, not talking to anybody like that? So, but have you? I asked this question before. I just like to pick people's brain a lot of things about like relationships, right? Just give it a different type of vibe of the episode.
Yeah,
So,
no doubt.
have you ever, experienced anyone that like cheated on, or have you been on that side of being like cheating or getting cheated on? Like, how do you feel about that?
Um, I've never had to face it like I knew for a fact that it happened. I think I've kind of had like a feeling like, okay, we're gonna have to we're gonna have to figure something out, both of us, and my thoughts are like, I don't know, you should be able to communicate way before that, and I think that comes with just making like a real connection with the person. Those are things that I've grown in my music. Come to bed talks about it, and even just in life, like really trying to make connections with the people that you're in relationships with. Like nothing surface. The surface stuff is how that stuff happens.
Okay. Do you have any, just in case, any ladies out there you want to hit you up, do you have any green flags, red flags? Like what do they need to have in order to like really get next to you? Like as far as looks, let's go with that.
I mean, I don't really have a specific type. However, um, just someone that has a lot of confidence in themselves, but also humble. Um, and I think that starts on the inside
Yes.
and then it comes out on the outside. So if you wanna have a chance with me, it's just the person that you are on the inside. You know what I mean? If you're really sweet, you have a chance.
Okay, okay. So y'all out there, just in case y'all want to hit my man's up. He seems really dope. He's down to earth and things like that. So we're gonna get into, a little rapid fire round, quick little things just to pick your brain about, and then maybe at the end, could we get a snippet of "Come to Bed"?
Yeah, for sure, for
Okay.
sure.
Okay. So, are you a early bird or a night owl? Like, is that like what time would you pick to like really get into like either a nice little mood for music or just like what are you in
Yeah,
general?
definitely a night owl. Like
Stay up.
definitely, I stay up for no reason sometimes, just vamping.
I can't do that. I can't do that. What's a guilty pleasure song you secretly love?
That new Glorilla joint.
Oh man, no. Which one? Which one? Which one?
I'm trying to think. Probably the one with Sexy Red.
You lost me there. We were cool for a second, then you lost me. See, most people, I do like that you chose something different other than the one with T-Pain. I love it, which is the absolute banger. Um, the one with Sexy Red though,
It's number one. It is not. It's number one.
I
So
feel like it because it has Sexy Red on it. I'm not personally, I'm not a fan of Sexy Red. I mess with Gorilla all day long. Like I do like her last album. It was a little weird that the Kurt Franklin song that she had on there. It just
mhm.
it didn't make sense with the rest of the album, but go off it's up there. Um,
Right.
if you had to sum up your year in one word, what would it be?
Growth.
Okay, okay. You why growth?
I mean, I hesitated for a second because growth happens right under the surface. Like I was just driving into my neighborhood and I seen a house that they've been working on. I swear it looked crazy last week,
Yeah,
and now it's like almost done. You
yeah,
know, so that's how I feel. That's how I feel this year. Like you go to the studio, you putting in phone calls, and you having fun.
yeah.
And then you look up and you're like, man, this is really happening. You know?
All right, I can understand that because that's literally how that's majority of how I feel about me with this podcast. Like in the past, it was two of us, and it was called something completely different. We did it for about a year, and then just recently, probably about 3 months ago, I started doing it by myself. Changed the name, just started actually putting out episodes and getting comfortable with myself and growing a little bit. Now we're almost at 150 followers. Granted, it was
Yeah,
from the previous one, but it went down a little bit and it started pick back up. So I can understand the growth, and hopefully by the end of the
yeah.
year,
Congrats.
or appreciate it by the end of the year, I hope to hit at least 500. I know we got a month left, but I'm just
Yeah,
hoping something out there just miraculously just
you
picks
got
up
it.
and go off. Um, yeah, shout out to him for being on the podcast. I shoot my shot with a lot of people to like be on the podcast episode. Sometimes the hit or miss. Sometimes I get a reply back. I do appreciate you for reaching back out. And really actually being
Problem.
on the podcast. I like guests because it helps people know that okay, somebody else actually wants to be on this and fuck with it. So
Yeah.
that reaches to more people. If you be so kind, give us a nice little snippet.
Come to bed. You ain't by my side, it don't feel right. I don't wanna waste another night. It's more than just your ego and my pride. So come to bed. We can figure it out. Come to bed. Come to bed.
Okay, okay, okay. Now, see, this is not fair because I now want to hear the rest of it and even more in my car driving down the street. So when
Yeah,
it's
thank you.
Friday, I will definitely be getting ready to like just when I get ready to go out and vibe a little bit. That might be my Saturday morning cleanup music. It's the
For
opposite of the
real.
times, but it's still a vibe. Again, I do appreciate you. If y'all want to check him out, go ahead and give your all your social shout out. I know you're on Apple Music, so let them know where they can find you and listen to you at.
So on Apple Music, it's Marquise Hale, Marques, and my last name Hale, Hale. On Instagram and TikTok, it's Marquise R&B, and that's the goal. I can't stress it enough to the next generation. You can actually do something positive, and you can actually follow a plan and stick to it. Come to Bed is going to be a huge record, and we got more on the way. You know what I mean? Shout out to the Trailblazers. Shout out to Kaiso Los Angeles for holding me down out here, and you know, thank you again for Sean for having me on this podcast. This was great questions and just a good time.
Appreciate it. All right, y'all. That is the end of this episode. I hope y'all enjoyed. And I hope y'all enjoyed that snippet. Don't if y'all want more, ask him to drop it early. It's Tuesday. We never know if you get enough of everybody commenting, liking, sharing. Maybe he might drop it early, and I'm actually wanting to drop it early. Maybe he might send me a snippet. I might leak it. We don't know. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate him for coming on. Make sure y'all like, comment, share, and subscribe. And without further ado, we out. Peace.